Okay, welcome to our discussion on post-mortem debugging with promises for June 26th. Okay, Max, I guess maybe it would make sense for you to start with an update of what progress you've made since last time we talked.
Sure. So we tried inserting node reports code into promises.js and seeing if we could replicate. I'm getting a little feedback. Is that just me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think that's better. Anyway, so we tried inserting node report into promises.js to try to get it to match what we would normally do, like without any modifications. And the problem we ran into now is there's an error being drawn called async hook stack has become corrupted. And I've been trying to track down why that's happening or what it even, what exactly it means, because I'm not crazy familiar with async hooks. So I was wondering if Benjamin or Richard had any inclination to what the error is or where I should look.
So I think there are like 3 people who would probably know how to solve this error. I'm not sure how to pronounce their names. One of them is Trevor. Then Anna is probably also capable of it. And then there's the person whose name I forgot who actually wrote the async hooks for promises.
Mm-hmm.
But you can try like disabling the async hooks for promises initially and then get it to work with that. And then once it works without async hook support, we can probably figure async hook support later.
Yeah, that was kind of the plan. We just wanted to disable them completely if we could.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then, like, if you need to disable domains or anything like that, that's also not supposed to be a problem. And one other thing you can try, you can start getting it to work either with like an old implementation of promise, like from V8, or like another version. Just like build that as a module, as a node module, and use that. Or you can just use like any promise library. Like if you want to try to get it working with like, I don't know, promise.js or like Bluebird, then that like getting it from the point where it works like with one library or initially to the point where it works everywhere sounds like a lot less work than getting to work like in that first place once.
Yeah, although I think we should be able to just like, I don't know, do you have any insight in how you would like disable async hooks for promises? Maybe there was a that added it, right?
So actually there was a pull request not too long ago that disables async hooks for promises by default unless you use some tool that like listens to the async hooks. So I don't think async hooks are even on by default for promises. Now the async hooks for promises is relatively new. I think it's like been in Node for maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Right. So maybe Max, if you it sounds like even if Max updated, it might help, right?
Okay.
Like how up to date is your? When did you do your last pull from the repo? I guess.
Last Monday, so probably less than a week ago.
Okay.
No, what I'm trying to say is I don't think anyone has actually used async hooks with promises in the wild for anything yet. You're probably the first consumer of like async hooks with promises if you're even using them.
We're not trying to use them. The problem is like we put in the code to generate a node report in that promises.js in one of the like unhandled rejection callback. And it's crashing in async hooks, complaining that there was mismatched push and pops and something like that.
Let me just find the pull request real quick for async hooks.
And maybe Max, why don't you
so,
to the chat the error that you're seeing?
Yep, sure.
So this is the domain PR, and there's another one for async hooks. Go towards async hooks. Part type for promise support. So it looks like Matthew Loring from Google is the one who wrote the support. I'll just like post his GitHub here.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And then let me just see if I can find the pull request because I don't think I actually reviewed that.
Because the pull request, if nothing else, would show what to just hack out to work around the issue probably.
Yeah, yeah. You can probably just like revert that specific commit, and it will work. And then please, I mean, I know it's kind of obvious, but report the issue because I think it's probably like one of the first people.
I guess the thing though is that
I hope.
Like they're not turned on, so it's not like they're trying to use it. It's just that somehow it's meaning that code can't run in that particular function.
Mm-hmm.
Now that may still be a problem because maybe you're supposed to be able to run whatever code you want, although it is internal to Node, right? That promises.js.
Yeah. So let me just take me a while. Let me just check. And then there's closed ones, and then async hooks, right? So I'm going to post. Oh, that's proper. That like the last pull request is by Anna. Let me just paste it in the.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
In the repo. There's actually like a lot of discussion about like what works and what doesn't there.
Because I think that's familiar. Yes.
And that's the one about CLS, continuous local storage, and then use research. That's like another one. I thought it was one, but apparently there were like 3 other pull requests I missed about it. And then this arc option to permissify. Let me just check async hooks. Let's do stacking, whatever to preserve, and request. Want to get parent promise from async hooks now. Will node expose now.
Yeah,
it's probably been faster too.
It's an error with the IDs that we're running into.
Let's see detail that promise now. So I'm confident at this point that Anna would know how to solve the issue because she both like reviewed the async hooks one and wrote the promises one, and she participated in some discussion in the Bluebird repo about adding support for async hooks.
Yeah.
So she's probably the right person to talk to.
Yeah, I think it would be good to try reverting this to see if it then goes away so you can move forward. And at the same time, yeah, if it does, then it's like maybe it'll be sort of like a question to her saying, we're trying to run this code in here. It seems to run across this particular code. Is it intended that we'd be able to run whatever there, or, you know, makes sense. Okay. Okay, yeah, those are very good pointers. I see it even says this won't fix everything. Okay, that's good. So I guess that's where, Max, anything else to update in terms of where you're at?
No, just looking over those links. No, I don't really have anything besides that issue that we run into.
Okay, so I guess it's still a matter of just pushing forward on the trying to, you know, basically make sure you can get the right stack trace, and then start to look and see if we can record information and, like, on the second run, or get the right thing.
Mm-hmm. So I should start by reverting to earlier to before async hooks, and then trying it with that. And
yeah, you could try that, or just revert that particular commit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on the latest one, that commit added some functionality that basically increment, like, you know, I can see in there's like the, you know, pop IDs, and, you know, maybe, and looking at that code there, it may explain what's going on if you understand it in terms of why we're getting this pop IDs problem.
Mm-hmm.
I just found a hit on that particular error message, so I just put a link up on there. It looks like someone else is it, and it looks like Anna's made the issue.
Ah, okay.
I saw the issue. If you can still like report a particular issue and steps to reproduce, that would probably be very helpful. But like the part that I'm finding strange is that like if I remember correctly, promise async hooks are only supposed to be initialized if like someone is listening to them.
Right.
And since you didn't call like create hook, I'm not really sure why this is happening. It sounds like perhaps like an even like worse bug than the one described in the issue,
Right.
because the one in the issue, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, certainly nothing, no intention to turn on any hooks. It's just basically the simple test cases that we've got, along with a little bit of code to say generate a node report in the unhandled rejection function, JavaScript function.
So it's on by default then, this thing. Yeah, I thought the async hooks was controlled by an option somewhere, but maybe not.
Well, there's async code there, right? But I guess it's unless you hook something, it shouldn't be doing too much work.
No, but it looks like, from what it's complaining about, it looks like it's actually saving some data. It's got a stack, so it has to save some information. Anyway,
yeah.
Someone out there will know.
Okay. Okay, so Max, if you can, you know, just go through those issues, experiment. Like if you revert that particular patch, does it fix it? And then you'll need to create an issue that documents what's going on, the use case, and then we can watch this one as well just to see if anything's resolved before you do that. And then I'm out. Well, actually, no, we're going to meet again on Wednesday, right? So maybe if by then we can talk about it again on Wednesday to see where you're at.
Sure.
Okay, that's all good data. Any other things to talk about this week? If not, let's call it a day. Now, next week is Canada Day long weekend, and so I'm off on Monday. I guess, Max, I'm assuming you are too?
Well, school will be closed, but I'll probably still do some work.
Okay, so I mean, it's up to you guys. I'm not going to be around, but if you guys still want to get together, one of you can create a hangout and get together. Otherwise, I'll see you 2 weeks from now.
Is Canada Day the Monday? Like, is it an official holiday?
It's Saturday, but the statutory holiday is the Monday.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So I'll see you next week.
All right.
Or in 2 weeks, if like.
Sure, I'll let you guys arrange it. If Max, if you set it up and just add it to the issue, if you otherwise.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Cool.
And thanks a lot. Yeah, that was lots of good help. So talk to you guys later.
Thanks for the links.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers,
Bye.